to try to exploit. James says, all this is about lost in the culture. How could one continue committing soul tie? We are in the world of the dead indeed. Fanton says you should date 1 million women before you can say you know all about women. Okay, we're not seeking to know all about women. The question is, how many do you date? Was a stipulated number before you get married to one. Demdare says, I don't think there's a limit as to the number one should date before marriage, but it depends on the kind of relationship that you had with each of them. But 32, yeah. How sure are you? You didn't do anything with at least one? And Stallone says you don't make sense. He says, and Hussein is you again.
All right, so I start with this one, which is quite funny. Ms. G, the question is, who deserves his leftover? Wow. And Farouk from Tamale says, for me, I believe dating should be 2 or more women before getting married. And if you test more ladies before marriage, it's a sign that you can't stay with one woman after marriage. You'll continue to be a chase. And it's from Abindao in Bibiani. And Lati in Kumasi says, this reverend is crazy. How could you possibly date 32 women and still call yourself a reverend? I guess all you'll be preaching in your church are techniques in dating.
Oh, no. Okay, so hold on. You should be charitable to him a bit.
Yeah.
He may have dated 32, but
maybe before he became a reverend.
Yeah, before he became a reverend. It doesn't mean that he actually
slept with all 32. All That's 32. True. And Daniel says,
he has been redeemed.
Yeah. From the curse of the law. I know that. Okay, so Daniel says that one should pass the bloom of youth, and I will never date more than one. Chastity is the best way to live. And this coming from Martina. Me, myself, I can't remember the number of ladies I dated, but I counted 67.
What?
But I think I left some out. So what is this? What he's saying is comedies. And it's coming from Prosper in Tamale. Okay, so those are some messages we received here. And, you know, since you decided not to tell, I won't tell you. Yes, you decided not to tell me, so I won't tell you. So let's go on.
No, but what, you were going to volunteer information. No. I didn't ask you. No. You were going to volunteer. So
no,
nothing should stop you from.
If you had said yours, it would be easier.
Oh, no.
So you just told me not to kiss and tell. All right. It seems the techniques of the issue of exam leakage isn't peculiar to Ghana, as Algeria has temporarily blocked access to social media across the country in an attempt to fight cheating in secondary school exams. The decision, according to authorities, was taken because many students were able to access questions on Facebook and other social media ahead of the exam slated this July. The question here is, how else do you think authorities could have handled the situation without blocking social media?
There is a law. So there should be an enforcement, strict enforcement of the law governing the operations of that institution. And I don't see the reason why somebody's negligence, then you go and block the social media, because through that block of the media, because of that, a lot of people might lose their job or might lose business opportunities.
They could have monitored the printing of the exam papers before it gets to the examination room. For instance, they can decide to, let's say, extend the starting time of the exams and then print the paper the day of the exam. With that, from the printing room, printing press, it will go straight to the examination room, and that one too, it will mean that they will have to get, let's say, printing press in all the region and district, and that one too will be expensive. So I think monitoring the examination papers at the printing press, that would be the best.
I don't think it's a very good idea, because they should rather check from the authorities, because if the authorities are bent on leaking the examination questions, the social media, there are a lot of ways that they can bring it out without the social media. If they should have a copy of it, they'll give the hard copy out. They'll go and photocopy it and they'll get access to it easily. And then also, not even them, even those who print and staffs, those who are not authorities of the GES and other institutions of that sort, they can leak the questions if they get money from it. They really do that.
All right, so Israel, back to you.
Okay.
And
So,
but before we go on, have you cheated in examination before?
Never.
Nope.
Never.
Never did you even whisper to someone, say,
No. Never,
Oh.
never did that. I mean, you know, I've been very frank with you. I answered some questions here that I typically shouldn't be answering.
Hey.
But this
one, you lied. You just lied. But
No,
it's okay. It's
true.
okay. I'll
All right,
ask your
so
friends from school.
let's get to Facebook. Giant says, no, we shouldn't. Social media isn't the problem. The problem is the ineffective and careless manner in which the staff of these exam bodies handle their questions. They ought to deal with the problem from source and leave social media alone. Jason says, I guess we've passed that hurdle for now. The issue isn't about social media. It's about getting honest and morally upright people doing their work. And I'm in favor of reforming and restructuring the educational system. We shouldn't countenance how politicians are toying with the educational system. Laws must be made to that effect. Let me move on. David Law says, no way. This won't add anything positive to solving the problems of examination leakage in Ghana. The problem is with the board of directors of WAEC. They are the very people leaking exam questions. Social media is not the culprit there, and I'm not sure about your allegation against the WAEC management. Alexis says, as I recall, in 1996, more than 3 SSC papers were cancelled and rewritten. At the time, there was even no internet in our part of the world, not to talk of social media. And by the way, if you block it, what happens to the rest of us who are not writing BC, but who depend on social media for business transactions? Del Stella says, social media isn't the problem, the education system is. Let's reform, restructure the education system, and the problems bedeviling it would ease. And Park Kwesi says, ha ha ha, truth be told, I congratulate WAEC for the measures they laid in place for the just ended BC exams. I wish they continue.
All right, so Farouk Intamali says WAEC and GES must be blamed for exam papers leakages, and they should get pen drives which are coded, and it will open and they'll print at these various examination centers rather than blocking social media, I guess. Well, let's go for our trending video now. And yesterday was Father's Day. Today we bring you a compilation of things only fathers are good at.
Father's Day, and you know, it's not like they buying something for me.
No, but because you're a
something.
father, you know, you need to show the fatherly love, just like we saw.
On Father's Day, I'm supposed to relax and they take care of me.
Oh, we did all of that.
I'm not supposed to be out buying shoes.
No, you buy shoes on another day. Anyway, all right, but it was great, you know, knowing that, you know, a lot of people have moved from all the issues about fathers being, you know, blah, 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 and we are now appreciating our fathers. And so
one thing they should have added to that video is that we cook very well too.
Really?
Yes.
And you didn't show up at the Marina Mall?
Okay, that's it for the bulletin. Thank you very much for bringing us Journey to Interactive, and thank you for bringing us entertainment as well. It's always great to have you on the show. And that's it for the bulletin. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com and get to read all the stories, Kenichi being fired and all, and the statement that was put out. My name is Israel, and I've been doing this with
Miss
G, Gloria Akpene.
Yeah.
And but earlier we also had John Amwako and Gary R. Smith joining to bring us a complete bulletin. Have a good night.
This is Joy News Prime.
Additional ma and so Macababion, Adam TV Cassia, and a day was many that it also and you know, and some of the Abbaway and Yabona day, they brought baby the other war. Now, and some of the Wakotin business, because her Ford, a once and summer by any baby chamas will be a Japanche. Then I'm seeing you the Dio J. Ford, or no seeing the yin cynical so. Yet most of the PPP man you can say or more call, no matter who's work or die charge. No man penny abonnet to Japan, with me or Mangana name, Wokoje car and to say, one of Bogana at the share. Amane sanso ene bwa kwa and someone another don ko kufu ado prima ado goba e so no awo de enam ene nsema wodo bi ai de muntinti man amana ne nsem ene gidi mu nsem ewi mu satre mu nsem ene pi keka ho ena me obidum bi kwaku edo komi enwumre making kan ede ama ye nyembre ye ba ye benya daje bebo awura nsem na afie tutu no asre ene abasa ede ama me mo kwaba. Adam TV kase brene redu afeye mo enfamura ensem no emu a ECG dwumeko ene wotisi monten so moye mass disconnection ache so manfo de deka wo manfo a wanfa kwan paso no wode twen nyina mahoden edekọ wafiefie mu wotwen apaso mekuwiase omotete homa egu fom na Adam TV kase ye de ani de chekọhọ sede adwumadi ani sikọhọ